This is a moment when in a climate emergency we have to say, regardless of where you're from or what party you used to vote for, if you're listening to our children, what you hear is all hands on deck right now. It's not only for the federal government to take action. Municipalities have been playing a leadership role for a long time. Indigenous peoples have been playing a leadership role for a long time. The province of Quebec has been playing a leadership role for a long time. We have in this country everything we need to make a change that ensures our children have a livable world while protecting economic activity, to be prosperous, to have workers have meaningful work. Just to be clear, the environment isn't our priority. Security is our priority. We're talking about the collapse of human civilization if we don't act in the next 18 months. The collapse of civilization won't happen in 18 months, mind you. It's very important to understand the context, and I don't think anyone here fails to understand it, but it's easy to be misquoted. I'm not saying the world will end by 2030. But the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change has told us very clearly that we're very close to tipping points in the atmosphere that unleash unstoppable, self-accelerating global warming, which sometimes gets called hothouse Earth. I don't think that's an environmental problem. I think it's a security threat. Now, are there other issues? Absolutely. We're very committed to electoral reform. This may sound familiar, but the years changed. 2019 will be the last election held under first past the post. I'll be clear for me. I mean, the Greens will work together as a caucus. We work by consensus. The leader isn't a dictator. My view is that we will meet as a caucus after the election, and each member of the caucus will commit in a personal contract to abide by whatever commitments we make if they're in the interests of avoiding climate disaster. But I think it's very likely, and I'm certainly for myself, I don't want a cabinet post in somebody else's government. I want to make sure they do the right thing. And I think the game plan that I see as being more likely is we insist on an internal cabinet that ensures that all parties have a hand in the climate plans that are adopted, so that after an election we don't risk that a new government comes in and cancels the plans we've made. We need to ensure that we do this together because it's not an issue, it's not a political issue like any other. It's different, and it means we have to take decisions differently.
But you're asking Canadians to vote for your party, to elect, scientists, biologists, people who understand the climate crisis. But you're saying, and I don't mean to shock you, but I don't think the Green Party is going to form a majority government. So
It's not a shock, but it would be an awfully good. I don't think a majority government is good for the country. I'll say that. Any party, these false majorities are dangerous.
But if you're saying we're not interested, you're not rolling it out, but you're not terribly interested in joining the government, aren't you passing up an opportunity to put on the front burner the very concerns you're saying are immediate, necessary, and unavoidable, when instead you're kind of saying, oh, we'll sit back and we'll just not vote for things we don't believe in? Is that maybe putting politics ahead of what you're saying is the ultimate
We're not saying we won't vote for things we don't believe in, Justin. I don't think that I've been clear enough. I must have not been clear enough. Any government that thinks it can pass it, if we have enough Green MPs that in a minority situation we hold the balance of responsibility. We don't know that this might happen. It's just as hypothetical as us getting a majority and me being Prime Minister. You ask, in a minority situation, would we ever accept some crumbs off the table? Would that be enough? If canceling the Trans Mountain Pipeline, would that be enough? No. We will not vote one vote of confidence for a government that fails to understand that we must hold global average temperature to a level that sustains human civilization through the lifetime of our children. That's what's at stake. That's what's at stake. Yeah. So one more question. He hasn't asked a question.
I have a question about, so you've been on record saying that you support spending tens and tens of billions of dollars on naval vessels and on army military spending, including fighter jets. We're talking about $100 billion. those naval vessels and the fighter
I
jets
don't remember
are-
ever being on record supporting fighter jets. We
You-
certainly
You
support,
have repeatedly,
No.
said you support military spending.
No.
You've actually criticized that we had the lowest military spending.
no, actually not, no,
I'll
never.
show you
I'd be
the
very
quote.
interested to
In
see it, it's not the
debate
case.
in the debate on City TV, you were quite clear about how you wanted more naval vessels.
Yes, because we
Anyone can check
need,
that out.
we
No,
need
but I
coastal
wanna-
search and rescue vessels, we need
Yes.
Coast Guard vessels, we need aerial
Sorry,
surveillance of
I
our
have a
coastlines, we're
question.
not at all prepared for the loss
But
of
I
ice
have
in the
I have a
Arctic.
question.
So I, just to be clear, I've never said we needed more military spending, the contrary.
You supported the $60 billion naval procurement plan. You have
Because we
supported that.
we want to have our naval vessels, Coast Guard vessels, icebreakers are important. And may I clarify,
No, but-
I'm the only member of Parliament in June 2011 who voted against bombing Libya. My record on being
Canadian
against
naval vessels
bombing,
were
and I
used
have
in that.
never,
Canadian
ever,
naval vessels were used in
did
that.
you read
But
Mission,
my
I don't know,
actual question is
what,
not- My actual question is not about.
your
use of
question
it.
is,
My
your
the
question is
climate.
founded on things that aren't true. So I just want to be clear, this party has never called for more military spending, just to be clear.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely
Thank
correct.
you.